In 1963, a wealthy tractor manufacturer drove to a small factory town, knocked on a door, and got insulted so badly that he built an entire supercar empire out of pure spite. That's not an exaggeration. That's literally what happened. His name was Ferruccio Lamborghini. And before there was a raging bull on the hood of anything, there was a farmer's son from Bologna who liked engines more than he liked farming. Lamborghini served as a mechanic in World War II, came home, and looked at the mountains of surplus military hardware scattered around post-war Italy, and saw opportunity where most people just saw scrap. He started building tractors out of salvaged parts. By 1948, that hobby became a company, Lamborghini Trattori. It exploded. Italy needed farm equipment to rebuild, and Lamborghini's machines were good. Really good. Within a few years, he was one of the wealthiest men in the country, adding heating and air conditioning manufacturing on top of the tractor empire, printing money from two completely different industries at once. And what does a wealthy Italian industrialist do with that kind of money in the 1950s? He buys fast cars, obviously. Lamborghini collected them: Alfa Romeos, Maseratis, a Mercedes, and multiple Ferraris, including a 250 GT, one white for him, one black for his wife. Here's the problem. He kept burning out the clutch, over and over. Back to the factory in Maranello for repairs, again and again. Now, most owners would just grumble and pay the bill. Lamborghini wasn't most owners. He was an engineer who ran his own manufacturing empire. So he did what any obsessive perfectionist with unlimited resources would do. He had his own mechanics tear the Ferrari apart to figure out exactly what was going wrong. What they found made him furious. The clutch inside his exotic, wildly expensive Ferrari was the same basic component he was using in his own tractors. The same part. 10 lire to make. Ferrari was charging roughly 100 times that for it, wrapped in a much prettier car. So, Lamborghini did the only reasonable thing a furious rich man could do. He drove straight to Maranello to speak to Enzo Ferrari himself. He waited for hours, according to the legend, because that's apparently how Enzo Ferrari treated people. Even wealthy ones showing up with legitimate engineering complaints. When Lamborghini finally got his audience, he laid out the problem, clutch by clutch, and even offered a suggestion for how to fix it. Enzo Ferrari did not want suggestions. Enzo Ferrari, according to the story that's been repeated for 6 decades now, looked at him and said something along the lines of, "Let me make cars. You go make tractors." Lamborghini drove home. Furious doesn't begin to cover it. And somewhere on that drive, he made a decision that would define the rest of his life. If Enzo Ferrari thought he was just a farmer who didn't understand cars, fine. He'd build a better car than Ferrari ever had. Faster, more refined. Everything Ferrari's arrogance told him he couldn't possibly build. This wasn't a business plan. This was revenge with a factory attached. He moved fast. Within months, he had a small plant built in Sanagata. And here's the twist nobody expects. He didn't need to build his engineering team from scratch, because 2 years earlier, a group of Ferrari's own top engineers had walked out after a dispute with Enzo, including his former technical director. Lamborghini scooped several of them up. The exact people who knew Ferrari's playbook inside and out were suddenly working for the man Ferrari had just insulted. In just about 4 months, the first Lamborghini rolled out. The 350 GT, debuted at the Turin Auto Show in 1963, built by a company that, 18 months earlier, hadn't existed at all. For the emblem, Lamborghini picked something personal. A raging bull, his own zodiac sign, and a nod to the Spanish fighting bulls he admired for their raw, unapologetic aggression, which frankly tracks. The rivalry that followed lasted decades. 2 Italian companies born less than 20 miles apart, one built by an engineer who fell in love with speed, the other built by a furious tractor magnate who got told to know his place and decided instead to build something that would make sure nobody ever said that to him again. None of it was guaranteed. A different day, a shorter wait outside Enzo Ferrari's office, a slightly more polite response, and Ferruccio Lamborghini might have just quietly fixed his own clutch and gone back to selling tractors. History rarely remembers the insult. It remembers what the insulted man built to answer it.